Hello everyone, welcome to our final Valentine's Day class of the series. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Mary. Tonight we will be having Kirsty, who's cooking Portuguese custard tarts, and something else. And then we've also got Danielle, who's going to be doing raw chocolate and roses with love, which is a delicious looking cocktail. So we're going to start. I've started mine already. So I will just run you through what I've done so far. I'm actually going to be making vol au vents, chicken vol au vents. So it's a recipe, a Skinny Mixes recipe that I'm using, but there is a similar one on Cookie Doo if you don't have the Skinny Mixes collection. It's called a chicken and pie filling. So I just figured I would put it in vol au vents because that seems a bit fancier and nicer for a Valentine's meal. But if you wanted to put it in a pie or a little pot pie with a pastry on top, you could do that too. So the first step was just to saute the leek. I figured you didn't need to see me doing that. That's 5 minutes. If you like, you will get back. So the next bit is we are going to add water. So just pop the water in. I did pre-boil this. I don't know if that makes any difference. I'm assuming it doesn't. A tablespoon of stock. It says to use chicken stock paste, but I only ever have veggie stock paste. I should really make the other ones, but I tend to just use the veggie stock paste. Mustard. So we're just going to do some Dijon mustard. Girls back on. This is a really, really yummy, quick recipe for a chicken pie filling, and it's really delicious and creamy. Sorry, I just had to let someone in. So parsley, thyme, pepper, mushrooms. So thyme and parsley, it's just dried thyme and parsley. You could probably use different herbs if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, if you've got the exact ones you're supposed to use. The thyme is nice with the chicken though. Mushrooms, we've just got some button mushrooms I've cut up. If you're having kids eating these with you, which is not the most romantic way to spend Valentine's Day, but hey, it's life. You could cut them up smaller if you didn't want them to see them in there. I'm just going to pop the chicken in. I'll grab that out of the fridge. So it says to use chicken thigh. But one of the things that I love about the Skinny Mixes recipes are that they give you options for like super skinny, low carb, vegetarian. And she does sometimes do FODMAP, like low FODMAP recipes as well, which is really great. You can do gluten and dairy-free options, which obviously you don't really need in this recipe because it is pretty much gluten and dairy-free anyway. I'm just going to make sure, this is why I love Cookie Doo, because I don't have to go backwards and forwards to the recipe. Water, stock, mustard, parsley, thyme, pepper, mushrooms, chicken. So that's going to cook for 5 minutes at 100 degrees. So I'll set that up, and then we will head over to Danielle, and she's just going to show us, she's going to start the chocolates because they have to, we have to melt the chocolate. So I'll just switch over to Danielle for you. 2 seconds. There we go.
Thank you so much, Mary. They look fantastic. My favourite food is vol au vents. And so I'll be doing the raw chocolates, and this is a recipe community recipe that I've put it on to Cookie Doo already. So I'll just, so you won't be able to see me, just because I think it's more important that you see the Cookie Doo and see what's in there as well. So what I've done is just put it into my week. So we're just going to quickly go through those. So just press start cooking. And so this is what I've imported it today. And so we're just going to place the 100 grams of raw cocoa. So I was able to get the raw cocoa butter from just the health food shop. I do live in Canberra, but yeah, there's a lot of health food shops. So just 100 grams, perfect. And then just go next, and we're going to chop it for 5 seconds, speed 8. That's where it gets a bit noisy. So you just press the button and just turn it all the way. Yeah, and that's finished. And then what it looks like, Sensei. Just, yeah, so yeah, it's all been frying up into full sign and all we're getting ready for the chocolate. So now we're just going to melt it for 10 minutes and speed 37 degrees. So while it's melting for 10 minutes, should we go to Kirsty or back to you?
No, we'll go over to Kirsty. The next step for me, all I need to do for my next one is put coconut milk and frozen vegetables into the bowl and then keep cooking it. So I'll do that in between, but we'll go over to Kirsty.
Yep.
Hi. Sorry, just yelling at my son. Can you hear me okay? Beautiful. I'm not on mute. All right, so I'm doing the Portuguese style custard tarts. They make a great Valentine's dessert, just saying. So this is a really quick one. It says 40 minutes, but it's not your time. Okay, I'm going to hit start cooking. It starts straight into the custard. So oven's done to 200 degrees. Grease a 12-hole muffin tray. So I find these ones are a little bit better. They've got the holes in them. That way they don't keep your pastry soggy. They dry it out a little bit because obviously the warmth gets through there as well. Half a lemon zest only, no white pith. So I have cheated. I've used a zester. We're just going to chuck that in. I find zest, it's easier to mill up if you've left it out to dry just for a little bit, even if it's just 20 minutes. It's a lot less fluid in there and it doesn't clump as much. So 120 grams of white sugar. I don't think I've got enough. That's not sugar. All right, I'm going to use raw sugar. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So a little bit of raw. We're going to mill it up anyway. Don't really buy much white sugar anymore. So I think that's just been sitting in the cupboard. I'd hate to think how long it's been sitting in the cupboard. All right, 2 tablespoons of corn flour. That's just our corn flour going in. This is the gluten-free one. I find it funny that the gluten-free one is home brand. It's cheaper. Whereas if you're celiac and you're using the White Wings one, it's made from wheat, which is not gluten-free. Pop your lid on. 20 seconds on speed 9. See you in a minute. It probably has cut out now. So you can possibly hear me a little bit. For 20 seconds, we're just going to mill up the zest. Make it nice and light and fine and fluffy.
We missed that, Kirsty. I know you tried, but we missed it.
So yeah, that just mills up the zest to make it nice and fine. So even if you had to use a potato peeler, it's still going to be nice and fine. So scrape down the sides and mixing bowl with your spatula. So breathe all that beautiful yum, or low fat, low sugar. Not likely. This is one of those desserts that you have once in a while, so feel free to do a double batch if you need to. All right, 1 egg. So I'm going to crack my egg in, and the next one is 2 yolks. Now, I don't know how long I've been doing this recipe for. I just add 2 eggs. So just a little tip. You don't have to. It doesn't make a great deal of difference. 400 grams of full cream milk. I mean, it's nice to have the 2 egg whites. You can make yourself a couple of batches of Fruity Dream or the raspberry whip off Cookie Doo. Some great recipes to use up some egg whites. If you've never made the raspberry whip, you can do it with any fruit. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Light, fluffy. If you like the Fruity Dream, you'll love the berry whip. All right, pop your measuring cup in, lid goes on. That's going to take 7 minutes. It's on speed 4, so hopefully it won't cut me out. while that's going, you hit preview. So then you add a couple extra ingredients, insert the measuring cup, another 10 seconds. So that's just vanilla. Transfer into a ceramic or glass bowl and cover with plastic wrap to prevent a skin forming. Now, if you use it hot, it doesn't make a difference either. Can you still hear me all right? Fingers crossed you can. All right. So next step, cut 1 puff pastry into 2 halves. Done it quickly. You've got to place one on top of the other one. So try not to have it too sticky, but not too frozen. Pop it over the top. And then grab your mat. It's probably easier to do it on the mat. You've just got to roll it. Like so. And then once you've done that, starting at the short edge, so this side here, yeah, cut into a log. Okay, cut a log into 12 equal rounds. So it's much easier doing it this way. Cut it in half again, into 3 equal pieces. So you end up with your 12. So they're probably not quite a centimetre thick. So these are what you got to work with when you're doing your bases, your Portuguese tarts. So you can use your hands, you can roll them out with a rolling pin. I'll show you both and you can work out which one's easier. I usually start with a rolling pin and then end up using my hands. So there's our 12 little rounds. You've got to make them big enough to go into your pan and up the sides. So you're going to use your hands. I just sort of flatten them out with the palm, with the fatty part of your hand, and just work them into a round circle. Make sure you don't have any little holes either. Otherwise your custard's not going to stay in there for too long. Now, you can use a rolling pin. I'm going to try and get them really nice and flat, but I find it's easier with the palm of your hand. Oh, there we go. It's going to work for me today. I think you've got more control if you're using the palm of your hand to make sure they're more rounder. And then you just gently poke them into the hole. Try not to stick your fingernail through the side. There we go. So, yeah. So just like that, you've got 12 of those to do. I don't know if you want to stick around and watch me do 12 of them. I don't know if I could talk for 12. Probably could.
Mate, I know you could. I know you could. How about while you do that, Danielle, how long has your chocolate got left? Because I just finished my cooking with the chicken and stuff. Do you want?
The chocolate's got 3 minutes to go.
All right, I'll show you the next bit on mine with the chicken vol au vents or the chicken pies or the chicken whatever you want to do with the chicken. I'll leave Kirsty there so you can see her pressing them out. So don't pull faces, Kirsty, because they can still see you. So I've just essentially just cooked the chicken, the mushrooms, the Dijon, and the herbs and stuff that I put in. I've got my vol au vents on the little tray here, just in preparation for when they're done. The next bit is we just pop some coconut milk in. I just use the one in the tin. I find AM is a really good brand. I've got this one from Honest to Goodness. So I just need to weigh this in. Come on, Thermomix, work with me. All right. So you can use cow's cream or you can use coconut milk. I use coconut milk. Oh, I'm going really, my sound is funny. I don't know why. I hope it's okay for everyone else. I use coconut milk just because we try and be dairy free where we can. But you can use cow's cream if you like. Then we're just going to pop some frozen veggies in. You can do a mixture of peas, corn, carrots. Really, you could probably put broccoli in, it would be nice as well. So you just pop all of those in and then it's just going to cook for 7 minutes. And then the next step is we pop corn flour in it just to thicken it up. And then it's going to be ready to put into either our pot pies or our for our vol au vents. And the vol au vents would be really nice with, like, say, a side salad or something like that. Or maybe some mash, depending on the weather, would be nice. So yeah, I haven't made these into vol au vents before, but I'm assuming they'll work because it's a really nice creamy chicken mixture that would go really nice, that does go really nicely on a pie, because I have done it in a pie before. Yeah, so you could mix it up however you like, really. You could do a pot pie with pastry on the top. You could do a pot pie with some mash on the top. The cookie dough recipe, I think, just says to make it into pies. But yeah, I figured the vol au vents would be nice, again, as something fancy and different. I just got these from Coles. And I actually, after I went to Coles, I went to the fruit market to get the mushrooms, and I saw that they had them there. So they probably would have been a little bit better ingredient wise, but yeah, I just grabbed these from Coles, so they're easy to get. We might switch over to Danielle. She's only got, I think, 40 seconds to go. Maybe just take the measuring cup off and see how you go. Say goodbye to Kirsty for a moment. I will bring Danielle back.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Mary, I've just had a look over it, and I've just done like a quick stir of it too, and it's pretty much melted, which is really great. Just like Mary, I do try and eat dairy free as well, and that's why I really like the recipe community and skinny mix books and just the Thermomix in general, because I do find that a lot I can just substitute the milk for the coconut milk and that. And the vegan chocolate tonight is also dairy free, so it's like a guilt-free recipe for Valentine's Day. So I did halfway through it. I just did just have a look over at the. Can you see that? It's just melted completely. So we'll just go to the next step. So we scrape down the side of the blade halfway through, but if it hasn't completely melted, just do it another 2 to 3 minutes at speed 37. And going down to the next step. So I've just got to add the 35 grams of the raw cocoa powder. So it's the raw cocoa powder going in. Oh, look, we were a little bit. And of course, I forgot to get the maple syrup out of the fridge. And when I was having a look over the reviews of the recipe community, a lot of people did have the maple syrup at about 75 grams. So if you don't want it as sweet, do the 45 grams. If you want it really sweet, go to 75 grams. I guess you could also use honey too if you really wanted to, just to substitute a bit. But I think I'll put about 50 grams in, see how it goes. That'll do. And a pinch of good quality salt. That'll do. And then it also says the 30 grams of dried fruit and the nuts, but I'm just going to make the plain ones. But I found that if you do the nuts here, and the dry fruit, it just crunches it all up and you can't really see it. So for my first batch that I did as a practice, I just put whole nuts in the little molds that I did. But if you weren't going to put them in molds, I'd put the dried fruit and the nuts in now. So the little molds I got, because it's Valentine's Day, I did get like love heart ones. I think you can kind of see that. But yeah, they're love heart ones. So once I'll show you in a second. Just one sec. And then all I've got to do is mix for 1 minute at 37 degrees, speed 2.
Just while you're finishing that, while that's going for a minute, I just want to quickly show you guys a quick little tip. So I need to put 2 tablespoons of corn flour in. I don't know if you guys know this, but in your measuring cup, there's a little a well. That well is actually a tablespoon. So if you didn't want to get a tablespoon out to measure something, so it was going to be oil or something like that, you could just measure it straight into there. And also on the side, there's these little lines. So there's that line there and there's a shorter one here, which says 50. So that up to that level there, the shorter one is actually 50 mils. and the taller one here is actually 100 mils. So that's why it's called a measuring cup, because you can use it to measure. So I just thought I'd quickly share that little tip that it took me, I think, a year of being a consultant to find out. Although I think Kirsty told me and I forgot. So I've just popped the corn flour in, and then that's just going to cook for another 3 minutes, and then we are done. So I'll leave it until we come back, and I'll show you how I pop it in. Yeah. Danielle, Kirsty, how are you guys going?
I'm done. I'm ready to put the chocolate in my molds.
Awesome. Kirsty, we'll come to you in un momento.
What's my water?
I had no idea about the measuring cup, so you learn something new every day. So it is, all I did too, so you'll see that some of the cocoa powder has been left on the blades. So what I do is just take my spatula and just mix it in manually into the bowl. When pouring into my little love heart molds, I've done a few different ways. So I used the cupcake pen, but I did find that the chocolate was sticking to the sides. And when I did a practice one this morning, I just poured it straight from the container into the molds, and it worked fantastic. And I found that I didn't waste as much chocolate too, because with the cake pen, it was sticking to the sides and I just couldn't get the stupid chocolate off. So the first round I did, I pretty much only got like 8 of the love hearts, but this morning I got double love hearts. So much love. So yeah, you just pour them into the mixture using the thing, and it just sets in the fridge. And here's some I prepared earlier. Let's see, where's my camera's not great. Sorry, just 1 second.
That's all right.
I'll put a photo up. But yeah,
cool. They look awesome. I'm just going to run over to Kirsty before she finishes pouring all her tarts.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to you for the drink. Thank you, Danielle. All right, there we go. We saw her do the last one.
Okay, so I'm just divvying it all up now, just making sure I've got enough in each one. You don't want to overfill them. Otherwise, you've got extra cleaning up to do. So there should be no cleaning up with these. Okay, now there will be because I've just slopped it. And again, oh my gosh. So yeah, so what you missed out on seeing was me putting 2 teaspoons of vanilla into it. It was exhilarating. You'd be bummed that you missed it.
Really,
but it does. You use up the entire amount. So you can obviously leave them a little bit short and stuff the last little bit into your mouth. But yeah, which I might do. But tidy it up before you put it in the oven. You know, quality control. You've got to test these things. That looks pretty good. Pop them into the oven. So it only goes for. See, it actually tells you to do the custard and then set it aside to cool, and then you cut the logs and do them. This is so much quicker just to do it this way. Rolling pin, push the pastry rounds into the muffin molds, divide custard between your the things. Bake for 20 minutes at 200 degrees until brown. So they'll make really, really nice brown. Make sure it's a nice brown on top. You don't want them to look too anemic. So make sure they do brown up. And just 20 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Feel free to clean your bowl with a little bit of milk.
I was actually going to suggest that to Danielle when she'd finished her chocolates. You can make a hot chocolate.
I've only got the 1 bowl, so now I have to clean it.
Clean it with chocolate. Clean it with milk.
Clean it with milk.
Clean it with milk and then tip it into a glass. And if you want to do, for those of you playing at home, if you want to do a hot chocolate after you've made the raw chocolates, you can use the warm-up mode on the TM6, or you could probably put it on for say 4 minutes. 80 degrees, speed 4. And if you wanted it fluffy, you could put it, put your butterfly whisk in, is what I'm trying to get out of my mouth. Because that would make a really nice fluffy hot chocolate. My one is finished, so this is.
I'm nearly done here.
Oh, you're almost done?
Yeah.
Good job. I'm going to show them. I mean, it's not really all that exciting, but I'm going to show them how to fill one of the vol au vents, and then we'll go back over to you, and you can show them your drink.
Nice. I'll have to put a second bowl on my list of things to get.
So you could actually probably have bought way more vol au vents because this makes a lot of mixture. Like this bowl is full, pretty well not full, but it's like up to about here.
Would you be enchiladas out of the filling?
I don't know, because it's got coconut milk in it. So like it's designed to be essentially a chicken pie is what it's really for. But so I don't know. I always think enchiladas are like tomato-y or Mexican.
No. Well, the sour cream and chicken enchiladas that we did the other day, they're not tomato, they're really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. Pulling out of that, Jen was saying that she put some on a bread roll.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so beautiful. But I reckon you could even do a lasagna out of the leftover filling, I reckon.
Yeah,
you didn't want to do pies.
Actually. Yeah, you probably could.
Just saying.
Yeah,
add some extra to it.
I actually think that this mixture might freeze okay as well. So you could even freeze it. I think in maybe if you froze it in like little muffin trays or something in portion sizes. So you could pop it in, say, like little individual pies or something like that, and then it would, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't done it before, but I figure it would work. We'll just, oh yeah, through pasta. Yes, good idea, Jen. That would work too, through a pasta. All right, I am just going to hop over to Danielle. Are you ready to do your beverage?
I am. So this is a cookie dough recipe, and I made it for my first launch demo on the weekend with Kirsty, and it was a great hit. We ended up having to make double with 4 of our friends, and a few of us were able to drive home afterwards. So it was quite amusing. So I just added it to my week as well. And this is really simple. I couldn't believe how simple it was and how tasty it was too. So the first thing we're going to do is do the 250 grams of fresh strawberries. And what I do is I just cut the tops off, so all the green stuff, the green leaves, and just gave them a bit of a wash as well. I got 2 punnet files at the supermarket, so I'll just chuck them both in. I do find that sometimes when the thing says it's 250 grams, it's not actually 250 grams. So we'll just chuck it all in. It just tastes more strawberry. And 375 grams of Moscato. I just got a cheap bottle of Moscato. You can use any one. I just got a clear bottle. That's 1 sec. It's gonna undo it. So 375 grams. You're not having to use the whole bottle. So that next, and insert the measuring cup. So that's just going to cut up the strawberries and 15 seconds.
So just butting in here, I'm just about to put the vol au vents in the oven. It just says to do it at 170 for 6 to 8 minutes. Whoops. And then it says to fill it with the filling. So you're supposed to cook the vol au vents before you put the filling in there is what it says, which is confusing.
And then I'm just going to put the other half of the Moscato wine in. And just to see how it says 348, if you just press the tar, it just goes back to 0. And it's just the rest of the bottle. And yeah, the strawberries underneath. My computer's a bit dodgy, but it looks pretty cool. It's like it's very red, and it's kind of got, it's got some bubbles to it, which is cool.
Looks really good.
So 375 grams. So I just chucked the rest of the whole in. Good job. This is a perfect too for a Friday night. I can't wait to have this. It's been a long week at work. And 6 ice blocks. Oh. Ice cubes went in. And 1 tablespoon of rose water. I was able to get the rose water from the health shop as well, where I got the cocoa butter and the raw cocoa as well. So they all have it all. They had it all, which was fantastic. I was glad I didn't have to go to 5,000 different places.
Just do 1 teaspoon though, not 1 tablespoon.
Oh, oopsie, I did 1 tablespoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 1 teaspoon it says on there.
Yeah, definitely 1 teaspoon. But it comes in such a big bottle too. I'm sure it'll taste nice. But yes, for everyone at home, do 1 teaspoon. And set the measuring cup and then turn it for 3 seconds. Next. Oh, and then into the fine sieve. This one took a while, Mary. So I just, you're going to really like push it through the sieve.
Because of the strawberries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's a strawberry caprioska recipe on Cookie Doo, which is amazing. And that is essentially what you just made, but with something else, I think vodka instead of Moscato. So if you don't care that it's got the chunks of strawberry in it, you could have it with the chunks of strawberry. I think it would be okay.
Cool.
So if you want to try a glass like that, I mean, again, as quality control, you can try a glass and let us know if that's okay or if it needs to be sieved.
I think it needs to be sieved. It looks a bit chunky still.
Okay. Kirsty, are you going to do something else?
Few things I can do. So I can show you a quick dessert. I've already started it, so I can do that. But I can also show you how to do a quick rocky road as well with just whatever the hell you've got at home.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry, just custard milk. Just heat it up. Mm. Oh, that's sensational. All right. So what we can do, I'm going to melt down some chocolate. So 500 grams, pop it in. This is just something really quick, really simple. So 500 grams of your white chocolate. No idea how much is in there. 347. Into the bag, as you do. About 500 grams of chocolate. A bit over. Not a problem. All right, pop your lid on. All right. We're just going to melt it. Normally you would just grate it up, but they're only small pellets. So I'm just going to put on for 5 minutes, 50 degrees, 55, and just go speed 2. So while that's going, let's go to speed 1. While that's going, I just grab all my chocolates and everything ready. Marshmallows. I've got Kit Kat. So this is going to be white chocolate Rocky Road. It's going to be white and pink. So I've got my Kit Kat. I did pre-break it up a little bit. So you don't put this back in there because otherwise it's going to melt. So I just lay this in the bottom. You can break it up as much as you like. And normally your Rocky Road's always some particular flavour. I just worked this one kind of off the recipe from Thermo Fun, the Tinker Rocky Road. So you just swap around your different lollies because you can. And depending on what, a lot of people don't like Clinkers, but how many people like Kit Kats? If you don't like Kit Kats, seriously something wrong here. Sorry for offending anybody. So then you just do about 100 grams of marshmallows. If they're big like that, I just half.
Right, yeah, turn the oil off one of them.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy there. You just cut these up as small as you want to, so about 200 grams. They've even got a red chopping board. What are the odds? Right, so then you just get them ready. So once the chocolate's melted, you throw them in the top, pop it on reverse, and just go for about 30 seconds till everything's coated in your chocolate. And then you just tip it over your chocolate, over your Kit Kats. That way it incorporates it all in, melts all around your Kit Kats, and you've got this beautiful pink and white Valentine's Rocky Road.
Yeah, honeycomb is really nice in Rocky Road too, if you've made honeycomb in the thermi.
Oh,
You know the bunched up bits, like if you do it in the mold and there's the bits that come off the side, they're really good to chuck in Rocky Road as well.
Yep. Oh, you can literally throw anything in there. Like I've cut up killer pythons and thrown them in. Your marshmallows help to bulk it out. Your cherry ripes, any chocolate bar, really. M&Ms, if you want to top it with something really pretty. We can even get coloured sprinkles, throw in whatever you like. Sky's the limit. If you want to add different flavours to your chocolate, a little tip, just make sure you have a look at the ingredients on your flavours. So this one here, oil-based. It's good for chocolate. If you wanted something like this, you can just colour it pink, not so good. If it's water-based, do not put in your chocolate, it will seize it up. So always check your ingredients. Vegetable oil or any sort of oil in it is really good for it. It's going to help it be nice and smooth, whereas your water and chocolate don't mix.
Really good tip. I never would have thought to check that.
Yeah. Good to know, because I didn't either. And the amount of times I'm doing something like making fudges or something, and then I'm trying to throw a little bit of oil in there, throw a little bit of colouring or a bit of flavouring in there, and it just seizes. It's like, what is wrong with this? What have I done wrong? 500 grams of chocolate's not cheap. So, always check your contents. If it's water, no, don't go there. So, all right, that's probably enough. Marshmallows, do the whole packet except for 3 of your raspberries.
I think Danielle's almost got her drink ready too.
No, that's all right. Go, come back to me if you like.
It is ready and it looks fantastic and I can't wait to eat it. And I put it onto my phone so that I could change the camera a lot easier. If I just work this out. Perfect. So there you go. I've got 2. Now, and there's my chocolates as well. I'm so excited with my chocolates. And I've got other little molds as well. I got them from Kmart. So I've got the Love Hard chocolates. I've got stars and I got little ducks too. But that should make 8 cocktails and I've only got 4 cocktail glasses. So I'll just put them in a jug and keep them in the fridge. Sorry?
I said that's a shame.
I know. I'll just have to have just put the jugs on the
they look
on
great.
the table because we've just we'll have dinner too. But yeah, they look fantastic, and they just the rose petals make it look so much more Valentine's-y.
Yeah, they look beautiful. Well done.
I think she's
thank
going
you so much.
to
Say that again.
Secretly, I think she's just going to put a jug, put it all back in the jug and put a straw in it.
That's a great idea, Kirsty. I think I should do that. It's
take out the
a
middleman.
big week at the
Right, so chocolate should be now. You believe that was 5 minutes? Right, so a little bit of it snuck up the sides, but look at that. So I'm going to put that back on. I'm going to give it a quick scrape down. Just go for another couple of minutes. They will melt pretty quick. And then with about a minute to go, pop it on reverse and throw everything in for about 30 seconds. Oh, what did I say? 2 minutes it'll do. Yeah. Didn't you going to do something else? He's still there. Hello.
Sorry, I was getting a plate.
She's left me. I have to do it on my own.
You're never one to need just to have trouble filling a gap. So I went to get a plate.
I've got 2 minutes. Right, 2 minutes.
Sorry, my vol au vents are ready. Give me a sec. I'll just pop it on a plate. I'll leave you there. And I'll grab my vol au vents, which they look really good. Even though I did them in the wrong order, that is okay. They look really, really yummy.
Oh, yum.
So yeah, I'm pleased that I thought of that idea to make them because they look really yum. I haven't had vol au vents for years. You could even put like maybe bacon in the mix if you wanted to pop some bacon on top. It would be nice. I reckon chicken and bacon, chicken, mushroom and bacon would always be good.
Shallots, a little shallot on the top just to make it a little bit fancier.
Yep.
A little chive, just a little chive over the top just to finish it off.
Yep. So far in this Valentine's series, what have we made? We've done, the first day we did risotto bolognese, arancini balls, and there was a chocolate mousse and a lemon sorbet. Then on Thursday, Kirsty did beef rotolo. We had Angela did a garlic pizza, garlic and chili prawns, and Jade did the white cheesecake stuffed strawberries. And then tonight, you've seen vol au vents, what is your one called, Danielle? Roses with Love. Is that what the cocktail's called? Yes. And then the dark raw chocolate.
Yep.
And we've got Kirsty's Portuguese custard tarts, Rocky Road. Voila.
The Portuguese tarts I bake all the time for my lunches for work.
The Portuguese
Love
tarts look really good. They look really good. All right, I'm going to pop myself on mute and disappear. Are you right, Kirsty?
Yeah, yep. So this has got 13 seconds to go. Once that's done, I'm going to show you what I've been fiddling with over here. So just with I pulled out 2 bits of pastry in case one of them broke. It's just something that I always do. I'm a little bit OCD about it. I can't pull one piece of pastry out, so I always grab 2. So I have been fiddling, and I will show you shortly. But, okay, so there's my chocolate. It's melted. Pop it back on for another, I don't know. It's only going to take 30 seconds to melt everything. Pop it on reverse. Pop it on speed 1, 1.5. We're going to throw everything back in there. All the bits and pieces. Poke it in the top. It's going to coat it nice and evenly. Don't stress too much if you just dump it all in. It's going to be fine. But just keep an eye on it. Like it's really quick. So yeah, I'd say that's done. That was like literally 15 seconds. Scrape it out. So grab your spatula. Look at that. Beautiful goodness. Tip that straight over the top. Oh. Okay, take 2. Tip that straight over the top. And then give it a little bit of a spread out. Make sure you get all the chocolate out of there. If you've got sprinkles, throw some sprinkles over the top. You want to do Valentine's themed, you get your little, you can buy little hearts. Woolies have got the little themed sprinkles. You can buy little hearts. And at Christmas time, you can buy some really wicked looking ones. You can buy like little, what do you call them? Not horseshoes. Little candy cane ones. They've got little, there's just so many different ones. It's not funny. Woolies have always got good stuff like that around, like the seasonal things. So you buy little eyeballs and stuff. Yeah, literally anything. Don't waste any of that chocolate. So I will clean this out with milk again. Yeah, Valentine's, such a good time of the year for putting on weight. So you could even drizzle, if you wanted to, you know, add a little bit of pink colouring to it and then just drizzle that over the top. So that's your Rocky Road. Pop that in the fridge. Otherwise, leave it on the bench for an hour, then score it. So it's going to be still soft, but hard enough that it's sort of set. And that way you're not going to crack everything when you do it. So I'm going to leave that on the bench while that's sitting there. I've still got my oven on. This is the rest of my pastry. A little bit more chocolate there, otherwise I'll get it on my shirt. All right, so what I usually do when I've got leftover pastry, so I've cut it into quarters. I've cut little corners into 2 sides of it. So I'll quickly show you 2 sides. And then what you do, put a little bit of milk along the sides, pick one up. I hope you can see this all right. I'll make it a little bit closer. Pick one up, pop it over the other side and give it a little bit of a pat down. Pick the other side up and do the same. Now, if you're like me, you've always got plenty of homemade jam in the fridge. Put a big dollop in the middle, spread it out, not too much because it will bubble up a little bit because obviously jam gets really, really hot. Just spread it out so it covers the little hole in the middle. Don't want to go too crazy. We've done on that last one as well, so I've already pre-done 2 of them. That sounds like the Portuguese custard tarts are done as well. So these should only take 5-10 minutes in the oven. Pop your little bit of jam. And the beauty of these classes is you can always watch this back, slow motion, and do it with me at the same time. And that way you've got your little pastries. If you want to put a little bit of dab of milk around the edges, just to make it a little bit browner. It's a great way, even if you're doing sausage rolls and you've got 1 piece left over, you know, it's something to do with your pastry rather than just go, oh, I'm going to throw it in the bin, roll it into a ball and chuck it out. 'Cause I mean, pastry's not cheap. 5-10 minutes in the oven, they're going to puff right up, and you pay $1.50, $2 for them in a patisserie. So I'm going to pop them in. I'm going to pull out my Portuguese custard tarts. No, I'm not, because they're not quite done. So they're going to need another 5 minutes.
So are those ones like the little pastries that you would get at a like at a little cafe or a patisserie or something like that?
Yeah, you pay. Oh, I'm being really unfair at $1.50, $2. You probably pay $3, $4 for one of those.
I pay $5. When I buy one with my coffee, I have to have one each day if I go into work and I'm not working from home with my coffee, and they're $5 at the cafe that I go to.
And you can make them at home.
I do try and make them a lot at home. It's not very often that I buy them these days. I've saved so much money with my thermo, and make so many good treats.
Crazy woman, $5. Well, there you go. I've just done $20 worth of desserts right there. With leftover.
While we've got some time, does anyone have any questions? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Anything you want to share?
I don't know. I've given you heaps of tips.
You have. You're very good at tips.
Yeah, the best one is if with your chocolate work, check what's in your ingredients. Make sure there's no water, because it's not good if they don't mix.
Also, I'm gonna say before too, you know how you're talking about the White Wings corn flour?
Yep.
That one is actually gluten free, and it's made with corn maize corn flour. So it's not with wheat. Is that the one you were talking about? The White Wings corn flour?
There's one of them that isn't. I thought it was the White Wings one, because I picked it up and it said it was made with wheat.
No, that's the celiac one, is the White Wings one. So it must have been a different one. It's only because I had it here.
The home brand is the cheapo one, and I think it's the best one.
There you go. I didn't even know about that one.
There you go.
Good. Thank you.
Pickles. Oh, another tip if you are celiac, if you go through Macca's, don't take a straw or use paper straws at all for that matter. They put them together with, it's got a flour and it's not gluten-free. So straws from Macca's are not. I actually had a customer say to me, you know, she's tried all these different protein powders, and she'd make a green smoothie every morning and couldn't work out why it kept going through her. She thought it was a protein powder, and she'd given away 7 bags of it. God love her. And I said to her, what straw are you using? She goes, oh, just the paper ones. And I went, there's your problem. They're not gluten-free. And she was celiac, and she changed. She bought the metal straws, and she's like, oh my God, huge difference. So
there you go. I never knew that. That's a good, another unfamily related tip that I like.
I'm full of useless tips.
All right. You've still got a couple of minutes left on your tarts and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, they're just not quite done. What was?
That's all right. We can.
We'll let me show you.
Okay.
They do get a little bit messy. There you go. See, look at those. Beautiful.
Yum. They look amazing.
They will see. Now the ones. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I'll leave them out. You can eat them hot or cold. Doesn't really matter.
All right. Well, we'll put up photos. Sorry, there's lag with your video. We'll put up some photos of everything we've made. As I said, if you've registered, we'll send you the recordings of all 3 classes, all of the recipes, and we'll send you a link for our link tree, which has got all our upcoming classes. There are some more Valentine's classes coming up. We've got a Meet the Modes class on next Wednesday. So yeah, just come along to any of the classes. We love having you guys along. It's not just our team that will do classes. We're all from Team Nourish. But in our branch Pinnacle, there are different teams that are running different classes and stuff. So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed the series. And for anyone watching the recording back, thank you for watching.